Anything to eat, sir?
No.
You were aware, sir, of what the doctor said?
I am.
This strike, sir, and all the strain it is putting on you. Excuse me, sir, but is it worth it? Very good, sir.
So he gave me a sixpence, and that's the first bit of money I seen this week. Ain't much heat to this fire. Mrs. Rouse, come and warm yourself. You're as wet as snow, you are.
But the winter my old man took was the proper winter. 79 it was, when none of you was hardly born. Annie Roberts, how old was you, my dear?
7, Mrs. Rouse.
7. Well, there. Just a tiny little thing.
Well, I was 10 myself. I remember it.
The company hadn't hardly been started 3 years. Father was working on the acid. That's how he got his poisoned leg. I kept saying to him, Father, you've got a poisoned leg. Well, he said, Mother, poison or no poison, I can't afford to go a-laying up. 2 days after, he was on his back. Never got up again. It was Providence. There was none of these compensation laws then.
You hadn't no strike that winter. This winter's hard enough for me. Mrs. Roberts, you don't want no harder winter, do you? Wouldn't seem natural to have a dinner. Would it, Mrs. Bolgan?
Bread and tea we've had these last 4 days. Leaving out the men, it's bad enough with the children. I keep them in bed. They don't get so hungry when they're not running about.
You're lucky they're so small. It's the going to school that makes them hungry. Doesn't Belgian give you nothing?
Would if he could, I suppose.
Ain't you got no shares in the company?
Well, goodbye, Annie Roberts. I'll be going along home.
Stay and have a cup of tea, Mrs. Rouse.
No, Roberts will be wanting his tea when he gets in. I'll just go and get into bed. It's warmer there than anywhere.
Come, Mother, you take my arm. We're all going the same way.
Thank you.
There, Annie. You see that? I told George Rouse, don't think to have my company till you've made an end of all this trouble. You ought to be ashamed, I said, with your own mother looking like a ghost and not a stick to put on the fire. So long as you're able to fill your pipes, you'll let us starve. I'll take my oath, Madge, she said. I've not had smoke nor drink these 3 weeks. Well, why did you go on with it then? I can't go back on Roberts. That's it. Roberts, always Roberts. They'd all drop it but for him. When he talks, the devil comes into them all. You don't want him beaten, he's your man. With everybody like their own shadows. If Rouse wants me, he must give up Roberts. If he gave him up, they all would. They're only waiting for a lead.
You won't beat Roberts.
Won't I? Cowards. When their own mothers and their own children don't know where to turn.
Oh, Madge.
I wonder he can look you in the face.
I say this fire's the devil. Can I have a screen, Tench?
A screen,
Oh, certainly, Mr. Wilder. That is, perhaps if the manager, perhaps if Mr. Underwood...
These fireplaces of yours, Underwood.
Oh, a screen?
Rather, I'm sorry. We're not accustomed to complaints of too much fire down here just now.
Oh, you mean the men?
Poor devils.
It's their own fault, Scantlebury.
There's great distress amongst them, according to the Trinartha news.
Huh. That rag. Give it to Wanklin here. Suit his radical views. They call us monsters, I suppose. Editor of that rubbish ought to be shot.
If the board of worthy gentlemen who control the Trinartha tinplate works from their armchairs in London would condescend to come down here and see the conditions prevailing amongst their work people during this strike...
Well, we have come.
We cannot believe that even their leg of mutton hearts would remain untouched.
Ruffian. I remember that fellow when he hadn't a penny to his name. Little snivel of a chap who's made his reputation by snivelling at everyone who doesn't agree with him.
What's the union's game, Tinch? They haven't made up their split with the men. What does Harness want this interview for?
Well, hoping we shall come to a compromise, I think, sir. He's having a meeting with the men this afternoon.
Yeah. Harness. He's one of those cold-blooded, cool-headed fellows. I distrust them. I don't know that we haven't made a mistake to come down.
The men are here, sir.
Ask them to wait. Show Harness in as soon as he arrives.
Very good, sir.
Won't do them any harm to cool their heels a bit.
This house will be the warmest place they've been in this winter.
It's this infernal three-cornered duel. The men, the union, and ourselves.
We needn't consider the union.
It's my experience you've always got to consider the union, confound them. If the union were going to withdraw their labour as they have done, why on earth did they allow them to strike in the first place?
We've had that over a dozen times.
Well, I never understood it. It's beyond me. They talk of the engineer and furnace men's demands being excessive. Yes, well, so they are. But not enough to make the union withdraw their support. Now, what's behind it?
Fear of strikes at Arthur's and Tynewell's.
Afraid of other strikes, eh? Yes, that's a reason. Why weren't we told this before?
You were?
You were absent from the board that day, sir.
But the men must have known they hadn't a chance once the union gave them up. It's madness.
It's Roberts.
Yes, it's just our luck. The men finding a fanatical firebrand like Roberts as a leader. When Wanklin and I came down here before Christmas, it looked as though the men must collapse. You thought so too, Underwood. Yes. Well, they haven't. Here we are. Things going from bad to worse. Losing customers. Shares going down.
Yes. What loss have we made by this strike, Dench?
50,000, sir.
Oh.
Don't say.
We shall never see it back.
No, sir.
Who would have thought that the men would have held on like this? Nobody suggested that.
I've never liked to fight. I never shall.
No surrender.
Who wants to surrender? I want to act reasonably. When the men sent Roberts down to the board last December, then was the time we should have humoured him. Instead of that, the chairman, well, we snapped his head off. A little tact, we could have got them back then.
No compromise.
Yes, well, there we are. Strike's been going on since last October. As far as I can see, it's going on for another 6 months, and a pretty mess we shall be in then. And the only satisfaction is that the men will be in a worse.
What sort of state are they really in, Frank?
Damnable.
Well, who would have thought they would have held on like this without support?
Those who know them.
I defy anyone to know them. And what about tin? Price going up daily? When we do get started, we shall have to work off our contracts at the top of the market.
What do you say to that, Chairman?
Can't be helped.
We shan't pay a dividend till goodness knows when.
Oh, we ought to think of the shareholders. Chairman, I say we ought to think of the shareholders. What's that?
The chairman says he is thinking of you, sir.
I think we ought to consider the men.
We mustn't think of our private feelings, young man. That'll never do.
I wasn't thinking of our feelings. I was thinking of the men's.
I'm afraid we mustn't base our policies on luxuries like sentiment.
I detest this state of things.
We didn't seek the quarrel.
I know that, Father, but surely we've gone far enough.
No. Give way to the men once, there'll be no end to it.
I quite agree, but... well, you make it a question of bedrock principle.
We've only got to hold on. Better to go to the devil than give in.
I don't see how we can get over it that to go on like this means bringing starvation to the men's wives and families.
I'm afraid, again, that sounds a little sentimental.
Men of business are excused from decency, you think?
There's only one sound way of looking at it. We can't allow ourselves to be ruined by this strike.
It won't kill the shareholders to miss a dividend or two. I don't see that's reason enough for knuckling under.
No caving in.
Well, if that's the chairman's views, I don't know what we've come down here for at all.
To tell the men we've got nothing for them. They won't believe it till they hear it spoken in plain English.
Yes. And I shouldn't be a bit surprised if that brute Roberts hadn't come down here with precisely the same idea. I detest a man with a grievance.
We didn't pay him enough for his discovery. I always said that at the time.
We paid him £500 and a bonus of, 200 3 years later. If that isn't enough for him, what does he want, for heaven's sake?
The company made 100,000 out of his brains, sir, and paid him 700. That's how he goes on, sir.
Yes, well, the man's a rank agitator. Now, look here. I hate the union. But now that we've got Harness here, let's put the whole thing into his hands to settle for us.
Yes. No.
Roberts won't let the men assent to that.
Fanatic. And not the only one.
Hello, Roberts.
How are you, Mr. Harness? Didn't expect to have the pleasure of seeing you till this afternoon.
We'll meet again then, Roberts.
Glad to hear that. We'll have some news for you to take to your people.
Mr. Harness from the union, sir.
You sit there next to the chairman, Harness, won't you?
Oh, thanks. Well, gentlemen, going to do business at last, I hope.
Well, that depends on what you call business, Harness. Why won't you make the men come in?
Well, the men are far more in the right than you are. The question with us is whether we shan't begin to support them again.
Support them if you like. We'll put in free labour and have done with it.
That won't do, Mr. Anthony. You can't get free labour, and you know it.
We shall see that.
I'll be quite frank with you. We were forced to withhold our support from your men because some of their demands are in excess of current rates. I expect to make them withdraw those demands today. Now, if they do, take it straight from me, gentlemen, we'll back them again at once. Now, I want to see something fixed up before I go back tonight. Can't we have done with this old-fashioned tug-of-war business? What good's it doing you? Why don't you recognise once and for all that these people are men like yourselves and want what's good for them just as you want what's good for you?
If the men will come in, we will do something for them.
Is that your opinion too, sir? And yours? And yours? There's just one very simple little question I'd like to put to you. Will you pay your men 1 penny more than they force you to pay them?
I thought that not to pay more than was necessary was the ABC of commerce.
Am I to understand, then, gentlemen, that your board's going to make no concessions?
None.
You were about to say something, I believe.
We're very sorry for the state of the men.
The men don't want your pity, sir. They want justice.
Then let them be just.
That word just read humble, Mr. Anthony. As I'm to have an interview with them this afternoon, gentlemen, I'll ask you to postpone your final decision till that's over.
Let's have the men in and hear what they've got to say.
Some chairs there against the wall, Roberts. Won't you draw them up and sit down?
Thank you, Mr. Underwood. We'll stand in the presence of the board. What do the men want? Beg pardon? I don't quite catch the chairman's remarks.
The chairman wishes to know what the men have to say.
It's what the board has to say we've come to hear. It's for the board to speak first.
The board has nothing to say.
In that case, we're wasting the director's time.
What's your proposition, man? Be reasonable.
You want reason, Mr. Harness. Take a look around this afternoon before the meeting. You'll see some very pretty scenery.
All right, my friend, you won't put me off.
We shan't put harness off.
Come, man, get to business.
Business? What did the chairman tell me when I came up to London? That I didn't know what I was talking about. I was a foolish, uneducated man that knew nothing of the wants of the men.
There can be only one master, Roberts.
Then by God it'll be us.
Roberts! You're here to speak for the men, as I'm here to speak for the board. Now then, what is it?
Right, sir. The men can't afford to travel up to London, and they don't trust you to believe what they say in black and white. They know what the post is and what directors' meetings are. Refer it to the manager. Let the manager advise on the men's condition. Can we squeeze them a little more?
Don't hit below the belt, Roberts.
Is it below the belt, Mr. Underwood? The men know. I come up to London, I told you the position straight. And what came of it? I was told I didn't know what I was talking about. Well, I can't afford to travel up to London to be told that again.
What have you to say for the men?
I have this to say. And first, as to their condition, you shall have no need to go and ask your manager. You can't squeeze them any more. Every man of us is well nigh starving. You wonder why I tell you that. Every man of us is going short. We can't be no worse off than we've been these weeks past. You needn't think that by waiting you'll drive us to come in. We'll die first, the whole lot of us. The men have sent for you to know once and for all whether you're going to grant them their demands. I see the sheet of paper in the secretary's hand. That's it, I think, Mr. Tench. Not very large.
Yes?
There is not one sentence of writing on that paper that we can do without. Isn't that so? Not one single sentence. All those demands are fair. We haven't asked for anything that we're not entitled to ask. What I said up in London, I say again now. There is not anything on that piece of paper that a just man should not ask and a just man give.
There is not one single demand on this piece of paper that we will grant.
You mean that?
I do.
I'll say this for you, Mr. Anthony. You know your own mind. I can reckon on you.
I'm obliged to you.
And I know mine. We're not so ignorant as you might suppose. We know the way the cat is jumping. Your position is not all that it should be. Not exactly.
Be good enough to allow us to judge of our position for ourselves. Go back and reconsider your own.
Mr. Anthony, you're not a young man now. From the time that I can remember anything, you've been an enemy to every man that has come into your works. I don't see that you're a mean man or a cruel man, but you've grudged them the say of any word in their own fate. You've fought them down 4 times. I've heard you say you love a fight. Mark my words. You're fighting the last fight you'll ever fight. Roberts. I mustn't speak my mind to the chairman, but the chairman may speak his mind to me.
What are things coming to?
Go on, Roberts. Say what you like.
I have no more to say.
Meeting stands adjourned till 5 o'clock.
Harness is here again. He'll have to make up their minds today.
Roberts will never give up the engineers and furnace men. It wouldn't be right.
You can't deceive me. It's just his pride. Oh, you're as cold as a stone. You want a drop of brandy? Going out.
It is all the same.
I've no patience with it. Waiting and waiting. That's what a woman has to do.
Can I come in, Annie? Oh,
seen it. Give Mrs. Underwood a chair, Madge.
Thank you. You feeling any better, Annie?
Oh, yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Why did you send back the jelly? I call that really wicked of you.
Thank you, ma'am. I had no need for it.
Was Robert's doing, wasn't it? How can he let all this suffering go on amongst you?
What suffering?
I beg your pardon?
Who said there was suffering?
Madge.
Please to let us keep ourselves to ourselves. We don't want you coming here and spying on
I
us.
didn't speak to you.
Keep your kind feelings to yourself. You think you can come amongst us, but you're mistaken. Go back and tell the manager that.
This is not your house.
No, it is not my house. Keep clear of my house, Mrs. Underwood.
Please to forgive Madge Thomas, ma'am. She's a bit upset today.
Oh, I think they're all so stupid. All of them.
Yes, ma'am.
Is Roberts out?
Yes, ma'am.
It is his doing that they don't come to some kind of agreement now, isn't it, Annie?
They do say that your father...
My father is becoming an old man. You know what old men are.
I am sorry, ma'am.
Oh, I don't expect you to be sorry, Annie. I know that it's his fault as well as Robert's.
I am sorry for anyone that gets old, ma'am. It must be dreadful to get old. And Mr. Anthony was such a fine man, I used to think.
He always liked you when you were with us. Don't you remember? Oh, look here, Annie. What can I do? I do so want to know. I haven't got any of the things that you ought to have. And you're so naughty sending back the soup and things.
Yes, ma'am.
Why, you haven't even got any coals.
Please, ma'am, to put the kettle on again. Roberts won't have long when he comes in for his tea. He's got to meet the men at 4.
And that means he'll lash them into a fury again. Couldn't you stop his going, Annie? Have you tried? Does he know how ill you are?
Oh, it's only my weak heart, ma'am.
You used to be so well when you were with us.
Roberts is always good to
I
me.
know, but you ought to have everything that you need, and, well, you've got nothing.
They say I don't look like a dying woman.
Of course you don't, but you ought to have the proper... Would you see my doctor if I send him to you? I'm sure that he'd do you good.
Yes, ma'am.
Madge Thomas oughtn't to come in here. She only upsets you. As if I didn't know what suffering there is amongst the men. I do feel for them dreadfully. But they have gone too far.
They say there's no other way to get better wages,
But
ma'am.
Annie, that is why the unions won't help them. My husband is very sympathetic with the men, but he says that they're not underpaid.
No, ma'am.
They never seem to think how this company could go on if we paid the wages that they want.
But the dividends haven't been so big, ma'am.
You all seem to think that the shareholders are rich men, but they're not. Most of them are no better off than working men are. They have to keep up appearances.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
You don't have to pay rates and taxes and hundreds of other things that they do. If the men didn't spend such a lot in drink and betting, they would be quite well off.
But they say working so hard, they must have some pleasure.
Oh, but surely not low pleasures like that.
Roberts never touches a drop, and he has never had a bet
Oh,
in
but
his
he's
life.
not a common. Roberts is an engineer. He's a superior man.
Yes, ma'am. Roberts says they've no chance of other pleasures.
Yes. I know it is very hard.
And they say gentlefolks is just as bad.
Oh, Annie. Well, I go as far as most people, but... Well, you know yourself, that's simply nonsense.
A lot of the men never go near the public, but even they don't save but little, and that goes when there's illness.
But then they've got their clubs.
The clubs only give up to 18 shillings a week, ma'am. That's not much amongst a family. Robert says working folk have always lived from hand to mouth. 6pence today is worth more than a shilling tomorrow.
Oh, Annie, that's
what
the
he
spirit of gambling.
Robert says a working man's life is all a gamble from the time he's born to the time he dies. He says that when a working man's baby is born, it is a toss-up from breath to breath whether he ever draws another, and so on all his life. And when he gets old, it's the workhouse or the grave.
He says that without a man is very near and pinches and stints himself and his children to save, there can't be neither surplus nor security. Oh, that's why he wouldn't have no children, not though I wanted them.
Yes, Annie, I know.
No, you don't, ma'am. You have got your children and you will never have to trouble for them.
You shouldn't be talking so much, Anne. But surely Roberts was paid a great deal of money, wasn't he, for discovering that process?
All Robert's savings have gone. He's always looked forward to this strike. He says he hasn't a right to a farthing while others are suffering. Oh, it isn't so with all of them. Some of them don't seem to care no more than that, so long as they get their
But I
own.
don't see how they can be expected to when they're suffering like this. But Roberts ought to think of you. Oh, it's all terrible. There, your kettle is boiling. Shall I make some tea? Won't you have a cup?
No, thank you, ma'am. I'd sooner you didn't see Roberts,
Oh,
ma'am.
but
He
I
gets
must,
so
Annie.
wild.
I shall be quite calm, I promise you.
It is life and death to him, ma'am.
I'll get him to speak to me outside. We won't excite you.
No, ma'am.
Beg pardon for coming in. You're engaged with a lady, I think.
Mr. Roberts, can I speak to you for a moment, please?
Whom have I the pleasure of addressing,
But
ma'am?
surely you know me. I'm Mrs. Underwood.
The daughter of our chairman.
Mr. Roberts, I've come here on purpose to speak to you. Would you come outside for a moment, please?
I have nothing to say, ma'am.
But I must speak to you, please.
I haven't the time to listen.
Mr. Roberts, please.
I'm sorry to disoblige you, lady. Mr. Anthony's daughter.
Mr. Roberts, I know that you have another meeting with the men this afternoon, and I've come here to make an appeal to you. Please, please try to come to some kind of compromise. Give way a little. Even if it's only for your own sakes.
The daughter of Mr. Anthony begs me to give way a little if it's only for our own sake.
Well, for everybody's sake, for your wife's sake.
For my wife's sake, for everybody's sake, for Mr. Anthony's sake.
Why are you so bitter against my father? He's never done anything to you.
Is he not?
He can't help his views any more than you can help yours.
I really didn't know that I had a right to views.
My father is an old man, and you...
If I saw Mr. Anthony going to die and I could save him by lifting my hand, I would not lift a little finger of it. I would not. And that's flat.
You don't mean what you're saying, and you know that.
I mean every word of it.
Why?
Mr. Anthony stands for tyranny, that's
That is
why.
nonsense. Oh, Annie.
Please not to touch my wife.
I believe you're mad.
The house of a madman, then, is not the fit place for a lady.
I am not afraid of you.
I wouldn't expect the daughter of Mr. Anthony to be afraid. Mr. Anthony's not a coward like the rest of
I
them.
suppose that you think it brave to go on with this struggle.
Does Mr. Anthony think it brave to fight against women and children? Mr. Anthony's a very rich man, I believe. Does he think it brave to fight against those who haven't a penny? Does he think it brave to set children crying with hunger and women shivering with cold?
My father is acting on his principles, and you know that.
And so am I.
You hate us, and you can't bear to be beaten.
And neither can Mr. Anthony, for all that he may say.
At any rate, you might have pity on your wife.
Madam, I have no more to say.
Enid?
You were not needing to come for your wife, Mr. Underwood. We're not rowdies here.
I know that, Roberts. I hope Mrs. Roberts is better. Come, Enid.
Mr. Roberts, I make one more appeal to you. For the sake of your wife.
If I might advise you, ma'am, make it for the sake of your husband there and your father. How goes it, my girl? Feeling better, are you? "10 minutes to 4. I've seen their faces. There's no fight in them except for that one old robber.
Stay and have something to eat, David. You've had nothing all day.
Can't swallow till those old sharks are out of the town. I shall have a bother with the men. There's no fight in them, the cowards. Blind as bats they are, can't see a day before their noses.
It's the women, David.
Ah, so they say. They can remember the women when their own bellies speak. The women never stop them from the drink, but from a little suffering to themselves and a sacred cause, the women stop them fast enough.
Think of the children.
Ah! If they will go breeding themselves as slaves without a thought of the future of them they breed.
Don't begin to speak.
Now, my girl.
Oh, no, David, I won't.
There. That's right. Not one penny will they put by them for a day like this, not they. I know them, hand to mouth. They've broke my heart. There was no holding them at the start, but now the pinch has come.
How can you expect it of them, David? They are not made of iron.
Expect it? Wouldn't I expect what I would do myself? Wouldn't I starve and rot rather than give in? What one man can do, another can.
And the women?
This is not women's work.
No. The women may die for all you care.
Who talks of dying? No one will die till we've beaten these. This is the moment I've been waiting for. To get the old robbers down here and send them back without a farthing's worth of change. I've seen their faces, I tell you, in the valley of the shadow of defeat.
Take your overcoat, David. It must be bitter cold.
No. There. Stay quiet and warm. I won't be long, my girl.
You had better take it.
I'm going to the meeting, Madge. Do you hear me?
I hear you. Go and kill your own mother if you must.
I swore to stand by Roberts. I swore that. And have me go back on what I swore, now would you?
You are a pretty lover.
Madge?
I've heard that lovers do what their girls ask them, but that's not true, it seems.
Make a black leg of me.
Do it for me.
I can't.
Do it for me.
Don't play the wanton with me, Madge.
I do that to get children bred.
Madge.
But you can't break your word for me. I have done for Robert.
I've spoken to you straight. If I speak till tomorrow, I can't say more.
Mister, can I get blacklegs?
Let them try! Let them try, man!
Get them then!
Well, there's always blacklegs. It's the nature of them.
There's always men who'll save their own skins.
They can't get him. But that won't help you.
Neither can you.
Now, men, be reasonable. Your demands would have brought on us the burden of a dozen strikes.
at a time when we were not prepared for them.
Unions never prepared.
The unions live by justice, not to one but all.
Nonsense, rubbish!
Look, any fair man will tell you were ill-advised.
We just want our rights.
I don't say you shouldn't go far for that which you're entitled to, but you're going too far for the moment. You've dug a pit for yourselves. Are you to stay there, or are you to climb out?
You've hit it, sir. Which is it to be?
Cut your demands to the right pattern, and we'll see you through. Refuse, and don't expect me to waste my time coming down here again.
Well done.
No, I'm not the sort that speaks at random, as you ought to know by this time. If you're the sound men I take you for, no matter who advises you against it, you'll make up your minds to come in and trust us to get your terms. Now, which is it to be? Hands together and victory, or the starvation you've got now?
Hands together and victory!
Talk about what you know. No? All that you've been through, my friends, I've been through. I was through it when I was no bigger than that shaver there. The unions then weren't what they are now. Now, what's made them strong?
People like us!
No, it's hands together that's made them strong. I've been through it all, I tell you. The brand is on my soul yet. I know what you've suffered. There's nothing you can tell me that I don't know. But the whole is greater than the part.
What the hell is he?
Stand by us, and we'll stand by you.
You say the furnace men's paid enough?
I did not say they were paid enough. I said they were paid as much as the furnace men in similar works elsewhere.
That's a lie. What about Harper?
You may look at home for your lies, man. Harper's shifts are longer, the pay works out the same.
Will you support us in double pay for overtime Saturdays?
Yes, we will.
What have you done with our subscriptions?
I told you what we will do with them.
I will. It's always will. You never mix.
Stay quiet, everyone! Those who know their right hands from their lefts know that the unions are neither thieves nor traitors. I've said me say. Figured it out, lads. When you want me, you know where I'll be.
Hey! He wants us to turn Blacklight. That's what he wants. He wants you to turn your back on us. Well, rather than turn Blackleg, I would starve.
Come on, Jago. I ain't got much to say to you. Look at the matter plain. You've come the road this far, and now you want to chuck the journey. We've all been in one boat, and now you want to pull in two. We engineers have stood by you. You're ready now, are you, to give us a go-by?
Speak up, Jago.
Well, if we'd have known that before, we'd not have started out with you so early one bright morning. That's all I've got to say. If you give up to London or to Harness now, you're giving us the chuck to save your skins. You won't get over that, my boys. That's a dirty thing to do.
I'm no orator, mates. What I says is drove from me. What I says is human nature. Can a man sit down and see his mother starve? What can he now?
Rouse!
Simon said fair. I changed my mind.
You turned your court, you mean?
He said fair. Stand by us, he said, and we'll stand by you. Now that's where we've been making our big mistake this long time past. And who's to blame for it? That man there.
Rubbish, boy.
No, he said. Fight the robbers, he said. Squeeze the breath out of them, he said. But it's not the breath out of them that's being squeezed. It's the breath out of us and of ours, and that's the book of truth. I'm no orator's mates. It's the flesh and blood in me that's talking. It's the very heart of me. Simonus is right. What are we without the union? A handful of parched sleeves, a puff of smoke. I'm no orator, mates, but I say chuck it. Chuck it now, sooner than see women and children starve. Simonus knows what he's talking about. Give us the power to come to terms with London. I'm no orator, mates, but I say, have done with this black misery.
Go back to the women, boy.
Shut up!
Yes, we would. Maybe you listen to these men from London. Ah, you groan. What for? You love their feet and your necks, don't you?
You mind your own neck, Roberts!
You'd like to break my jaw, John Bulgan. Let me speak, then do your smashing if it gives you pleasure. Am I a liar? A coward? A traitor? If only a word you'd listen to me, I'm sure. Is there a man of you has given us £800 since this trouble here began? Come on now, is there? That young man there says I had hellfire in my tongue. If I had, I would use it all to scorch and wither this talking of surrender. Surrendering is the work of cowards and traitors. No time this to settle personal matters. But there was one other spoke to you. Mr. Simon Harness. We haven't much to thank Mr. Harness and the Union for. They said to us, desert your mates or we'll desert you. And they did desert us!
They did!
Mr. Simon Harness is a very clever man, but he's come too late. For all that Simon Harness says, for all that any man present here can say, we've won the fight! You've felt the pinch of it in your bellies. You've forgotten what that fight has been about. Many times I have told you, I will tell you now, this once again. The fight of this country's body and blood against a bloodsucker. The fight of those that spend their souls with every blow they strike and every breath they draw against a thing that fattens them. A thing that buys the sweat of men's brows and the tortures of their brains at its own price. That thing is capital. Don't I know that? Wasn't the sweat of my brains bought for £700? And hasn't £100,000 been gained them by that 700 without the stirring of a finger? It is a thing that will take as much and give you as little as it can. That's capital. A thing that will say, I'm very sorry for you poor fellows, you've a cruel time of it, I know, but will not give 1/6 of its dividends to help you have a better time. That's capital. Tell me, for all the talk, is there one of them will consent to another penny in the income tax to help the poor? That's capital. A white-faced, stony-hearted monster. You have it on its knees. Are you to give up at the last minute to save your miserable body's pain? When I went this morning to these old men from London, I looked into their very hearts. One of them was sitting there, Mr. Scantlebury, a mass of flesh nourished on us. Sitting there for all the world like the shareholders in this company, that sit not moving tongue nor finger taking dividends. A great dumb ox that can only move when its food is threatened. I looked into his eyes and I saw he was afraid. Afraid for himself and his dividends, afraid for his fees, afraid of the very shareholders he stands for. And all but one of them's afraid. Like children that get into the wood at night and start at every rustle of the leaves. I ask you men, give me a free hand to tell them, go you back to London, the men have nothing for you. Give me that. And I swear to you, within a week, you shall have from London all you want. It is not. It is not for this little moment of time we are fighting. Not for ourselves, not for our own bodies and our miserable wants. It is for all those that come after throughout all time. Oh, men, for the love of them, don't roll up another stone upon their heads. Don't help to blacken the sky and let the bitter sea in over there. They're welcome to the worst that can happen to me. To the worst that can happen to all of us, aren't they? aren't they? If we have not the hearts of men to stand against it breast to breast and eye to eye and force it backwards till it cry for mercy, we shall stay forever what we are, less than the very dogs.
Your wife's dying.
Strike your blow and let... Strike your blow and let them...
He needn't have hurried. Annie Roberts is dead.
You've been seeing Roberts, I hear.
Yes.
You know what trying to bridge such a gap is like? Filling a sieve with sand.
Don't.
You think with your gloved hands you can cure the trouble of the century.
Father, I'm only thinking of you.
I can look after myself, my dear.
But have you thought what'll happen if you're beaten? In there.
I don't intend to be.
Father, don't give them a chance. You're not well. Need you go to this meeting at all?
Cut and run?
But they'll outvote you.
We shall see.
Oh, Dad, I beg you. Won't you?
There's a Miss Thomas, ma'am.
Thomas? What Miss Thomas? You mean...
Yes, ma'am.
Where is she?
In the porch.
I don't want...
Shall I dispose of her, ma'am?
I'll come out. Would you ask her to come in here, please, Frost? Come in. What is it? What do you want, please?
Brought a message from Mrs. Roberts.
A message? Yes?
She asks you to look after her mother.
I don't understand.
That's the message.
Why?
Annie Roberts is dead.
It's only a little more than an hour since I saw her.
Of cold and hunger.
It's not true. The poor thing's heart... Why do you look at me like that? I tried to help her.
I thought you'd like to know.
It's so unjust. Can't you see that I want to help you all?
I never harmed anyone that hadn't harmed me.
What harm have I done you? Why do you speak to me like that?
You come out of your comfort to spy on us. A week of hunger, that's what you want.
Don't talk such nonsense.
I saw her die. Her hands were blue with the cold.
Why wouldn't you let me help her? It's such senseless pride.
Pride's better than nothing to keep your body warm.
I won't talk to you. How can you tell what I feel? It isn't my fault that I'm born better off than you.
We don't want your money.
You don't understand and you don't want to. Will you please go away from here?
You killed her, for all your soft words. You and your father.
That's wicked. My father is suffering himself through this wretched strike.
Then tell him Annie Roberts is dead. That'll make him better.
Go away.
When a person hurts us, we get it back on them. You felt that. Like it's her mother you've to look after, not her children, isn't it? She won't trouble you long.
Go away.
I've given you the message. What is it, Dad? Who was it? What is it?
That fellow Wilder is taken to personalities. He was downright insulting.
What did he say?
That father was too old and feeble to know what he was doing. The dad's worth 6 of
Of course he is.
Oh, I don't like this.
Come, Chairman. Wilder sends his apologies. The man can't do more.
I withdraw my words, Chairman. I'm sorry.
You haven't come to any decision, Mr. Wilder.
We're all here, Chairman. What do you say? Shall we get on with the business, or shall we get back to the other room?
Oh, yes. Let's get on. We must settle something.
Ted, I must speak to you for a minute, please.
Really, Chairman, it's no use soothing ourselves with a sense of false security. If this strike is not settled before the general meeting, the shareholders will certainly haul us over the coals.
Let them.
I don't mind martyrdom for a policy in which I believe, but I object to being burnt for someone else's principles.
That's very reasonable. You must see that, Chairman.
We owe it to other employers to stand firm.
There's a limit to that.
You're all full of fight at the start.
We thought the men would give in, but they haven't.
They will.
I can't allow my reputation as a man of business to be destroyed for the satisfaction of starving the men out. I can't allow it. How can we face the shareholders with things at stake therein?
Here.
Come, Chairman, we're not free agents. We're part of a machine. Our only business is to see that the company earns as much profit as it safely can. If you blame me for want of principle, I can say that we're trustees. Reason tells us we can never get back on the saving of wages what we shall lose if we continue this struggle. Really, Chairman, we must bring it to an end on the best terms we can make.
No.
Have you heard this, sir? Mrs. Roberts is dead. Enid went to see her this afternoon. She had no coals or food or anything. It's enough!
You're not suggesting we could have helped the poor thing?
The woman did have a weak heart. No one can say that there's any responsibility on us. Or not on me.
I say we are responsible.
War is war.
Not on women.
It not infrequently happens that women are the greatest sufferers.
But if we knew this, all the more responsibility rests on us.
This is no matter for amateurs.
Call me what you like, sir, but this has sickened me. We had no right to carry things to such a length. I don't say we meant to be cruel. I don't say anything of the sort. But I do say it's criminal to close our eyes to the facts. We employ these men. We can't get out of that. We're 5 members of this board. If we were 4 of us against it, why did we let it drift until it came to this? You know perfectly well why. Because we hope to starve the men out. All we've done is to starve one woman out.
I protest. I'm a humane man. We're all humane men.
There's nothing the matter with our humanity. It's our imaginations, Mr. Scantlebury.
Oh, nonsense. My imagination's as good as yours.
If so, it isn't good enough.
None of us are opposed to a settlement except your father.
I'm sure that if the shareholders knew...
I don't think you would find their imaginations any better than ours. Because a woman happens to have a weak heart.
Yes, well, we've no knowledge of this affair, just rumours. The proper course is to put the dispute in the hands of Harness to settle for us. It's natural. That's what we should have come to in any case.
Exactly. And as for you, young sir, I cannot sufficiently express my distaste for the way you've handled this whole matter. You ought to withdraw. Talking of starvation, considering what our views are, apart from your own father, we've all agreed our only policy is one of goodwill. It's most irregular. It's most improper. And all I can say is it's given me pain.
I withdraw nothing.
Well, I pay no attention to what young Mr. Anthony has said. I move the following amendment to the chairman's motion. That the dispute be placed at once in the hands of Simon Harness on the lines indicated by him this morning for settlement. Anyone second that?
I do.
Very well. I ask the chairman to put it to the board.
We have been made the subject of an attack. I take it upon my shoulders. I have been chairman of this company since its inception 32 years ago. I have seen it pass through good and evil report. My connection with it began in the year this young man was born. I've had to do with men for 50 years. I've always stood up to them. I've never been beaten yet. There's only one way of dealing with men, with the iron hand. This half and half business, the half and half manners of this generation has brought us to this middle-class sentiment. Socialism, whatever it may be, is rotten. Masters are masters. Men are men. Yield one demand and they will make it 6. I should be the same if I were in their place. But I am not in their place. Mark my words. One fine morning, when you've given way here and given way there, you'll find you've parted with the ground beneath your feet and are deep in the bog of bankruptcy. And with you, floundering in that bog, will be the very men you've given way to. I'm thinking of the future of this country, threatened with the black waters of confusion, threatened with mob government, threatened with what I cannot see. If by any action of mine I have helped to bring this upon us, I would be ashamed to look my fellows in the face.
The men are here, sir. Shall I bring them in?
I come to the attack that has been made upon me. A woman has died. I am not aware that if my adversaries suffer in a fair fight not sought by me, it is my fault. I cannot separate, as I would, these men from their women and children. It seems to be the fashion nowadays for men to take their enemy's side. I have not learnt that art. Is it my fault that they quarreled with their union, too?
There is such a thing as mercy.
And justice comes before it.
What seems just to one man, sir, is often injustice to another.
Are you accusing me of injustice? What amounts to inhumanity? Of cruelty?
Oh, come, Joe.
These are the words of my own son. Of a generation I do not understand. Of a soft breed.
I said the same of myself, too, Father.
Before I put this amendment to the board, I have one more word to say. If it is carried, it means that we shall have failed in what we set ourselves to do. It means that we shall have failed in our duty to all capital. It means that we shall lay ourselves open to constant attack, to which we as constantly shall have to yield. Be under no misapprehension about this. Run this time, and you will never stand again. You will fly like curs before the whips of your own men. If that is the lot you wish for, you will vote for this amendment.
Proposed by Mr. Wilder and seconded by Mr. Wonkin, that the men's demands be placed at once in the hands of Mr. Simon Harness for settlement on the lines indicated by him this morning.
All those in favour signify in the same usual fashion. All those contrary. Amendment is carried. I resign my position on this board. "50 years. You have disgraced me, gentlemen. Bring in the men."
Well, Thomas, how's it gone? What's the result of your meeting?
Mr. Harness has our answer. We're waiting for him.
He'll speak for us.
Is that so, Thomas?
Yes. Roberts will not be coming. His wife is dead.
Yes, yes, poor woman, yes. Mr. Harris, sir.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Ah, Alice, we've been waiting for you. I trust we can now come to some
Roberts.
satisfaction.
Mr. Anthony, I'm afraid I'm a little late. I would have been in time, but for something that has happened. Has anything been said?
No. But, man, what made you come?
You told us this morning, gentlemen, to go away and reconsider our position. We have reconsidered it. We're here to bring you the men's answer. Go ye back to London. We've nothing for you.
Roberts.
Is that clear enough for you? Is that short enough and to the point? You made a mistake to think that we would come to heel. You may break the body, but not the spirit. Get back to London. The men have nothing for you.
We're all sorry for you, Roberts, but...
Keep your sorrow, young man. Let your father speak.
Roberts.
Why don't you answer?
Roberts.
What is it?
You're talking without the book, man. Things have travelled past you. Now listen to this. Demands conceded with the exception of those relating to the engineers and furnace men. Double wages for Saturday's overtime, night shifts as they are. These terms have been agreed. The men go back to work again tomorrow. The strike's at an end.
You've gone back on me. I stood by you to the death. You waited for that to throw me over.
That's a lie.
You waited for that.
That's enough, men. You'd better go.
Well, there's nothing else for us here. Let's think about getting that train.
Coming, Scantlebury?
Yes, yes, wait for me.
But you haven't signed them terms. You can't make terms without the chairman. You would never sign them terms. Don't tell me you have. I reckoned on you.
The board is signed.
Look after the chairman. He's not well. Not well. If there's any fund started for the women and children, put me down for £20.
Then you're no longer chairman of this company. They've thrown you over. They've thrown over their chairman. So, they've thrown us both over, Mr. Anthony.
For shame, Roberts. Go on, man. Go on quietly.
Home.
Come away, dear. Come to your room.
That's a great weight off my mind, Mr. Harness. What a painful scene. And so violent.
A woman dead, and the two best men broken.
Do you know, sir? These are the very same terms we drew up together, you and I, and put to both parties before this fight began. All this. And what for?
That's where the fun comes in.